Hello everyone. Sorry, I had to leave my part one of today's class due to some emergency. I had to stop it. So now in this part, what I'm doing is I'm just continuing part one itself to cover the remaining basic signals. But still, I'm naming this as part two. But part two will become part three next. So after discussing impulse signal, impulse function, unit impulse function and its properties in both continuous time and discrete time counterparts, let us cover the remaining basic signals. Around 3 to 4 signals still remain, so that we'll end this part. Okay, next signal in the line we have to discuss is what is called ramp signal or ramp function. uh, you may get a hint from the title itself. When I say ramp, uh, like you got step, step signal you had. You imagine it is steps in a multi-story building. When you climb the building, you go through different steps, step one, step two, etc. If you take any one step, so that is a nothing but a unit step signal, sudden change. So ramp, similarly, you may have ramp, sometimes say in hospitals and all, in the place of near the steps, there will be ramp. So that you can go to next floor if you want to carry the patient through a wheelchair or stretcher, a wheeled stretcher. You cannot use steps. You have to use a ramp, isn't it? Slope. They will, in hospitals, even in buildings, they provide for handicapped people and all. Likewise, ramp function, a signal. I think now you can usually visualize what kind of signal it is. That is something that varies continuously at a constant rate. Suppose you want to model a signal, any phenomena to test a system, that phenomena varying at a constant rate, you need to visualize a ramp function or ramp signal. Therefore, even a basic signal is formulated in the form of ramp function or ramp signal. Let us discuss initially continuous time ramp signal, then discrete time ramp signal, and how to represent the same, and also graphical form of ramp signal. So first, let us consider continuous time case. A continuous time ramp function or signal is represented using this graph. As I told you, it is a slope, a unit slope. Your slope is 1, that is for every increment in time by 1 unit. If the amplitude increments by the same 1 unit, then it is called slope 1. That is opposite by adjacent is equal to 1 by 1. So unit slope, which is one-sided, has been shown in this particular diagram. This diagram, you can see as the time progresses, the amplitude also progresses at the same rate. So that if you consider slope, for instance, at this instant of time, if the unit covered is 1 unit, then here also it is 1 unit. So if you cover 2 units in time, 2 seconds or 2 microsecond, 2 millisecond, if the amplitude also covers 2 units, whatever it is, 2 volts, 2 amps, whatever it is covered, then again this is unit slope. So for all values of t less than 0, it is 0. That means I am considering only one-sided ramp. Now how to write equation for such a kind of signal? So I am using this definition. That is, I am using the symbol notation R of t. R stands for ramp, continuous function of time. Therefore bracket t is nothing but t for t greater than 0 and 0 for t less than 0. That is, in the positive time axis, starting from 0, whatever time progresses, same with the amplitude also progresses, no? So there I am writing t itself. So whatever time, same time, whatever the time instant you reach, same time instant, same amount of amplitude, even signal reaches in vertical axis. So that means for every time t, the output is t itself for t greater than 0. When t is less than 0, it is 0. So this is nothing but equation for a unit ramp signal. As you can see, I can also write this equation as this. That is, I am multiplying t into u of t. That is, I am using u of t to define the time interval of the ramp. If I only mention t, it is actually having a negative part also, like this. It may continue negative also. So this is actually t, equation of t. That is two-sided ramp, I am calling it this as. Now since I am defining only one-sided ramp, I am multiplying by u of t. So this is a way of describing one-sided event. T into u of t, because u of t is 0 for t less than 0, no? When I multiply a t with u of t, what I get is this one-sided ramp. So this is a very useful signal when you study, for example, a voltage continuously changing with respect to time. If I want to study that, I can use this waveform to test a system of such inputs. So next, if I want to represent same thing in discrete time, so how to represent the discrete time ramp signal, discrete time case. So this is what happens in a discrete time scenario. So it is a sampled version of continuous time signal. Therefore, signal looks similar. In the place of n, there is, in the place of t, there is n. X as a function of n. A ramp signal is described as similar to your time domain signal. When n is equal to 0, signal is 0. Here also when t is equal to 0, signal is 0. When n is equal to 1, signal also is equal to 1. So when n is equal to 2, signal also is equal to 2. When n is equal to 3, it is 3. When n is equal to 4, it is 4. So how to describe the equation for this ramp? Yeah, as you thought, it is r of n, r as a function of n, is equal to n for n greater than 0, 0 for n less than 0. For n greater than or equal to 0, it is 0. N. For n less than 0, it is 0. That is how a discrete time ramp signal is defined. So we have covered nearly almost all basic functions. Now let us see some of the very special functions which are also classified under basis functions or elementary signals or elementary functions which are of use in signal analysis. First is signum function. A signum function is shown graphically like this. That is, the signal x of t is 1 for t greater than 0 and signal x of t is minus 1 for t less than 0. At t is equal to 0, signal value is actually speaking not defined. It is 0 actually, but because signal suddenly changes from minus to plus 1, so there is always a confusion how to describe the signal's value at t is equal to 0. Actually speaking, it is 0. But now I can also say in this way, that is, this 0 instant I can break into 0 minus and 0 plus. For all the sudden change phenomena, no, I can always write like this. 0 plus, this is 0 plus. At x 0 plus, x of t is equal to 1. At x 0 minus, x of t is equal to minus 1. What is the value of x at 0? X at 0, it is 0. X at t is equal to 0, it is 0. X at t is equal to 0 plus, it is 1. X at 0 minus, it is minus 1. So it's slightly confusing, no? Yeah, this is always like that. So therefore, it is called discontinuity. Whenever there is a discontinuity, the definition becomes ambiguity. But anyway, let us solve this kind of problem and understand more of them in the future classes. Anyway, for t greater than 0, it is 1. For t less than 0, it is minus 1. At t is equal to 0, it is discontinuous. You cannot properly define the signal. Now, how to express mathematically? Yes, this is what they have mentioned. Signal. Actually, notation for signum function is SGN. Signum as a function of time is 1 for t greater than 0, minus 1 for t less than 0. For t equal to 0, it is actually undefined because it is having many different values. There is a discontinuity, no? Whenever there is a discontinuity, it is undefined. So for practical purposes, we can take x at 0 is 0, x at 0 plus is 1, x at 0 minus is minus 1. But what is 0 plus 0 minus, what is 0 plus and 0 minus? It is not mathematically defined, only practically we can visualize this, that's all. So this is all about the signum function. Next function is sinc function, a special function called sinc function, which looks like a sine cosine wave, but not, because its amplitude is 1 when the horizontal parameter is 0, it is 1. As the horizontal parameter increases, its value keeps on changing like a sine function with decreasing amplitude. This kind of signal is called a sinc function, and it is exactly given like this equation. Sinc of t is equal to sine t by t. For all t from minus to plus infinity, sinc t is equal to sine t by t. Now this function is not defined at this equation is not defined at t is equal to 0. If I put t is equal to 0, it is sine 0 by 0. Sine 0 by 0 is 0 by 0, undefined. Therefore, by using L'Hospital rule, I am differentiating this equation with respect to time. When I differentiate this equation with respect to time, it becomes cos t, isn't it? It becomes cos t, because sine t differentiation is cos t and t differentiation is 1. So cos t, then put the value of t is equal to 0, you will get cos 0 is 1. So you will get the value of sinc as 1. Sinc at t is equal to 0 is 1 by using L'Hospital rule. For all other values of t other than 0, the equation, the value of sinc can be obtained by sine t by t. So this kind of signal is called as sinc function. Next to the line is rectangular function. You can see the graph of a rectangular function or rectangular pulse. Its value is equal to 1 for interval of t minus half to plus half, or for a width of 1, the total width of the signal is 1. minus half to plus half means it is total width is 1 and height is 1. It is called as unit rectangular pulse. The equation for unit rectangular pulse is rect t is 1 for mod of t less than half. That is for t less than plus half and less than minus half or greater than minus half. I can say like this, a mod of t means for t less than half, that is less than plus half and greater than minus half, it is 1. For all other value of t, mod t greater than half, that is on by either ways, plus half and minus half, it is equal to 0. So this pulse is defined only from minus half to plus half with the value 1. Everywhere else it is 0. That is how equation has been described. Next function I want to discuss is rectangular pulse. A triangular pulse has a shape of this. That is, it is a pulse, a single event phenomena that lasts only for certain amount of time. That is minus 1 to plus 1. It's defined from minus 1 to plus 1 and its peak value is 1, occurs at the origin. And it has got a positive slope and an equal negative slope. That is, slope is plus 1 when it increases, slope is minus 1 when it decreases. So its equation is exactly this. Tri, that is TRI stands for triangular, tri t is equal to 1 minus mod of half for mod t less than 1, 0 for mod t greater than 1. That is, if you want to get the value of triangular pulse at any instant of time from 0 to 1 or 0 to minus 1, you simply carry out this operation 1 minus mod of t. For example, if you want to find the value of signal at t is equal to 0.5, at t is equal to 0.5, it is 1 minus 0.5, that is 0.5. Want to find the value of triangular pulse at t is equal to 0.5, it is equal to 0.5. At 0.5, it is equal to 0.5. Also at t is equal to minus 0.5, minus 0.5, minus 0.5, its value is 5 only, because I have to take only the, while subtracting I should take only the sign, even though it is minus 0.5, take it as 0.5 and subtract, you get same. So it is a symmetrical wave, it is a UN wave, symmetrical wave, and the value of that signal in the interval of minus 1 to plus 1 is given by this equation, 1 minus mod of t. And for every other time other than mod of t greater than 1, that is greater than 1 and less than minus 1, its value is 0. So this is another basis function. So you almost covered all the type of basis functions using which we can make analysis of signals as well as systems in our future classes. Let us end this part 2 and please join back in part 3 of this class. Let us again meet in part 3.